All right, cyber traders, welcome on back here. Top of the month, perhaps all of us here live joining us this Thursday, June 1st, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. Great to have Joy still with us here, Elizabeth still with us here, Belle with us here, the ladies at the trading room. In fact, cleaning up actually right now on the Carvana trade. We had Elizabeth just before on Tesla, and maybe something to come down the line for Joyce on the UCAR coming up here, UCAR. That's been such a big move already. Great to see the ladies, of course. Great to see Roger. I want to give Roger, one of our longtime students, a huge shout out. Listen, folks, you see some people post regularly inside our live trading room. Hey, everyone here does pretty well for the most part. Some do pretty well consistently. I want to give one of my students a big shout out here to begin this meeting. Roger, one of our platinum students. He has killed it today. I want to say it's his best day ever without disclosing the number. I'd asked him just though before, I'd said, hey, Roger, what's given you the ability to do so well? Not just today, actually, today being his best day ever. He's actually had such a really good week. I think the last 4 trading days, he is up X number of dollars. It's been incredible to him. And, I said, well, what's been the difference really, aside from the market just being up? And he wrote back to me, said patience and trading 1,000 shares. Okay. And I'd asked him, hey, is this the first time you're consistently doing the 1,000? Because, hey, to do this 4 days in a row before today, even, that should be an enormous confidence boost to continue to do the 1,000 shares. It's not like a one-off thing. And he wrote back to me, he said, yes, show no fear and be patient, not stupid, he said, which I would agree. And he said this, which I like to wrap up. He said, don't chase every squirrel you see out of the corner of your eye. Stay focused. Big shout out to Roger here today and all of us that perhaps that did pretty well. But, each and every day we have a couple of us that happen to hit the balls better than others. And the more you're with us here, perhaps it just all avalanches all together. And it's been doing that for Roger's been doing that really for the last few days. So big ups to him. Now, AI, definitely nice move so far into the afternoon off support. This was incredible from earnings this morning. I mean, it's a level 5 stock, so it's not easy. In fact, right now it's shaking back down. About to take me out on a small loss live right now under 34.60. So there we go. I was in right from above 60. So you got to set a tight stop there. There we go live. But nevertheless, though, stock ended up bouncing perfectly off of support off of $30.80. This is what we were kind of screaming about in the market open session just here inside the trading room. Now, at that, we have the phase 3 stock course lined up coming up at 3:05 Eastern time with Fausto. So stay tuned for that. The link for that should be posted coming up momentarily in the chat. There we go, Rich. Appreciate you there. 30.80. Huge iceberg going into the market open for this trade. To get the exact number of shares, let me actually do that there. It was about 40,000 shares roughly sitting on the bid. It was there before the meeting started, there in pre-market. It was there for about 45 or so minutes. So you got to figure it's there for a reason. And it didn't drop all the way down to the next level at 30. It broke under it, broke back over it. And once it broke back through that level on the way up, ended up leading to a phenomenal entry, right? So, from there, we're not necessarily expecting the perfect squeeze all the way back up to 40, let alone 37, where it had topped off at. It's good to take the money and run in parts. And if it gives you the chance to jump back in, then perhaps you do it. If it's too fast afterwards and you find that it's just, a little too chaotic, then move on to another trade, right? A bunch of us were trading this, but otherwise, if you weren't focused on AI, you could have been focused on PLTR, which trades with it in the morning. At least it did. And, Palantir definitely showing a lot more weakness now compared to C3. But, heading into the afternoon right now with this little shake, I was hoping to see good direction right now. So we'll come back to it. Yeah, the AI trade. PLTR, Palantir, just, to go back on that once more. That one also just a good sideless stock. I was short on that heading into the early to mid-afternoon and got out of a trade, but left a little money on the table. So, hopefully that short may continue heading into the afternoon there. So we'll come back to them if we need to at the end. Now, the stock that really Fausto killed it on in the morning class at least, and then just now or just before it actually made a new pop a moment ago. Let's see. Can I go back to this here? What happened to my charts? Got to link back to my. Oh, that's just makes sense there. All right, so the UCAR ended up having a huge pop when the market had opened up. Actually, go right to our YouTube channel right now and subscribe while you're at it as well. But we ended up posting a video, a little snippet of our advanced trading class. Fausto in and out of this UCAR trade as it ended up popping, got halted. And then from there, another stock, much like the other one there, it's just good to leave money on the table. You're not going to be perfect with the exit. As long as we are as good as possible in the entry, it gives us the best chances possible to go with the momentum, set our stops in case if it goes the other way. So it was a quick in and out from Fausto, and hey, it broke out higher later on. We don't advocate to be trading during lunchtime, but if you know where your levels are and if you know how to set a tight stop and you're here, it gives you the chance. And a bunch of us took advantage of this UCAR trade. Bell was one of them. I thought Elizabeth was one of them perhaps as well. Just a bunch of us did well on this. John from earlier. So yeah, right now it's actually trying to push back up, here. I think one of our students was asking about it prior to this meeting beginning, about maybe at like 2:00. I think I said maybe like 2:20 actually it was. And I said, it's making lower highs at the time. Unless if it pops back up during this PM meeting coming up, I would just say move away. All right, well, let's pop back up a little bit. And, hey, I don't mind taking it from a higher price if there's more conviction. So it's showing a little bit more movement back up for right now. I'll put this on our main list to begin. I'll do that at least. If it ends up completely head faking, slamming right back down as we continue, obviously I'll just scrap it. But for right now, it makes the cut. Nice move back up. And who is that I'd asked? Joyce, I think, before. Yeah, so there could be more room on this if it ends up flipping 10 into support. Another pop over 10 for that to flip into support. All right, so what else we got here? REUN looks like a buyout. I don't really care to even check. It's just too flat for my liking there. We'll move on. WLDS, nice pop from earlier this morning. Actually, really from like last week, we said like this stock is definitely starting to earn our trust and respect. So long as it doesn't, obviously drop off day over day, well, we'll keep a small eye on it. And big pop in pre-market this morning, which led us to put it on the morning watch list early on, or the pre-market list, and led to a good shake. Ended up going under and over from 2, good for about 35, nearly 40 cents. So for a $2 stock, I'd say that's a pretty big move from $2 here. But like the other one, definitely too flat right now for my liking. All right, this is not too flat for my liking, but too thin for my liking. Nice little pop on TYGO, but trading too little volume. I don't know if it's halted, but order book is just nothing really showing there. So let's see what else we got. LE, we got the Carvana trade, which, again, we had talked about kind of previously here, at least mentioning it, ended up making a huge squeeze up from earlier today. Another one that was easy to leave money on the table and you were able to jump in and out of throughout the day. I mean, hey, let me just ask all of us here, like Roger included, who killed it before, and Phil actually the other day on AI, I thought I saw Phil get like over $5 a share on his trade. So actually big shout out to Phil as well. For all of our students, when a stock breaks above resistance and runs off of it, resistance should initially look to become what? Support. So I actually missed it off of 15 here because I thought support would break. Well, off of 1535, ended up making a big breakout above resistance. And it was more so heading into like the mid-afternoon here. We were focused around this break of resistance. I got back to my desk, ended up running a small errand, just stepped away from my desk, got back. And I mean, this was just still going. So I missed out on a big move from earlier. And I said, hey, if this could end up re-breaking resistance, I'm trying to set it at 1620. It's not letting me. There we go. But ended up popping, ended up flipping that into support right here. Thankfully, it allowed us to survive this pop here at the time and ended up squeezing up that much more. So just another trade. It goes to show if you just apply the core philosophies that we preach, even beginning in phase 1 stock class. Obviously, Fausto will show it later on. It's just that every trade begins with the entry. So we can't chase a stock. I'm not going to just jump in between levels, especially during this time of the day. But, if I just apply the core philosophies, then set my stop tight, it gives me the opportunity, right? All right, well, I missed out on some of this trade, but I was able to get a small piece of the pie, right? And that's what we care about in this sense here. So ended up moving up towards 1665, ended up scaling out around there, popped up a little bit more, but look at it now. So definitely done with this trade, at least for the time being. It's still a big, and perhaps if it could build up off of 16 coming up, then it could lead to the next move. So you know what? I'll add this to our main list still. It looks pretty interesting heading into 3 o'clock, 3:15, 3:30. So yeah, we'll see what this could do here. QBTS. Stock ended up popping earlier today, but very rugged right now. Not really looking too good there. Chewy, a little expensive from the morning session, but you could say the same on AI. So it's just that this one now isn't really looking too good. Maybe a possible short off of 37, just in hindsight there. GSET. This thing's been pretty choppy just since I had first called it out heading into the mid-afternoon. I did miss out on a good portion of this run already personally. Another stock that really from like a week ago, 2 weeks back, that when it first pops, you just don't really trust it at first. I mean, hey, there's nothing really special about this stock that leads me to say it's a good trade to watch going forward. But if it maintained its liquidity, then that's different. And it did. So it ended up having a couple down days in between. We didn't really call it out then, but it doesn't have terrible volume on the book. It has a tiny spread, unless if it opens up badly coming up, that's different. But I'd say it's a decent stock heading into the afternoon for right now. So GSIT will add back on our watch list here. It broke above the highs from earlier this week and the end of last week even. Looks like a huge Fausto flag looking at the tops here. That's pretty cool. So even if it fails to make that big pop today, just be on the lookout for this break above the highs off of like 730. Really strong top there. All right, so we got 3 so far on our main list. Not bad. PSTG. This one popped up earlier and actually rebroke heading into the early afternoon, so it doesn't look terrible. I'll write it down for the side list, PSTG. KC China stock ended up making a pretty good move from the morning session today, but little lackluster right now. It's kind of at the highs. It's dipping off a little bit now, so you could say that there, but maybe later on if nothing else is looking as good. AEHR, this just has a bit of a spread. I know it's trying to go back up right now. The stock actually we traded when it was breaking all-time highs maybe a year or two ago even. Had to have been last year. Yeah, no. It was actually here. We ended up trading this. It was back in 21 even. So, yeah, ended up breaking all-time highs back then and then rebroke them heading into 23 and still pushing up really nicely, whatever company this is, AEHR Test Systems. But, yeah, right now, if it was more liquid, I would definitely be interested in it, but I'll pass for right now. TAL having a sneaky day. Looks like the China markets ended up doing pretty nicely altogether, and not just a KC trade, but TAL, maybe look at a stock like IQ. I don't know. I'm just shooting from the hip there. I don't think NEO did too well today. I think NEO was down big at one point. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, NEO did make a hell of a retracement. I took my eyes off this early. I thought it was down really big in pre-market. But you know what? Otherwise, I mean, unless there's anything looking very sharp on the way up, I'm not going to be too interested. Let's just kind of keep it to what we got so far and seeing if there's anything else otherwise. Upstart, I mean, for as volatile as the stock has been over the last couple of weeks dating back to their earnings report, this is another trade that could have been a really nice runner across the day today. We were just more focused on AI, rightfully so, UCAR, rightfully so, Carvana. Hey, can't catch them all, but really nice move on Upstart. Definitely keep this on your side list. Mike saying here in the chat board, DraftKings up on the day. Take a look. Take a look. Yeah, it's up. It's a little slow though for right now. A little lower high, but it's at the highs there. If you're in from earlier, always rooting you on. Just want a faster looking trade though. Want a faster mover there. Something worth our time. All right, let's see if there's anything worth our time maybe. Although the markets are up and away, let's see if there's anything looking good on the losers list here. And I'll tell you what, I didn't even care to check the losers list right now, or up until right now even. So whatever this DZSI is, actually, it's a really nice short. I don't know if this is breaking all-time lows even. That would make it even better. Nah, not all-time lows, but it's still fun enough. I mean, it is shortable on TradeStation, dropping back down right now. So you know what? I'll kind of put it on the side list. We'll jump back to the AI trade at the end. I feel like that's making a nice pop right now. So, we'll check in with that before we finish up. MDU has better liquidity than the other one, or a tighter spread, maybe I could say. Similar trend down, right? A little more expensive, but that I'm not complaining about. It's $19, $20 stock. So, it's like within my price range. So it's good. Just for right now, though, I don't really have a great need to look for a short unless if it, I don't know. I mean, this looks good, but maybe I kind of slipped that on at least if anything, but we'll see if there's anything just looking better as a short. Otherwise, we'll just kind of call it. Hard to go against the grain today, right? And there's no need to. So, with the list that we got, I'm pretty happy. We got a couple to check back in with at the end. Yeah, nothing else really looking that great out there. So you know what? MDU I'll slip on there as a possible short. Spread's good. It's at the lows. Like saying Peloton from his side list. Hmm. This one I like a little bit more, Mike. In terms of price, in terms of the pace, right? And a little bit more bang for the buck here on Peloton compared to DraftKings. Uh, hmm. Yeah, I'll slip Peloton on there. You sold me. All right, so we got Peloton on our list there. Not bad from Mike, and we'll see if there's anything else looking good from all of us on social media. Anyone on Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc. Let me know if there's anything else that you'd want me to look at. Got AI making a big pop, big blast above 35 right now. So hopefully there's time for me to jump back in on this trade coming up. A really strong push above 35 here. I'll add this back on our list, that's for sure. PLTR not looking really good at all. Pass on that. PSTG just looking pretty lackluster, even though it had a great day. Just pass on it. And I feel like that's all I got from my side list, right? I'm just checking on Benzinga Pro, and that's pretty much it. All right, so what do we got here? X that crap out. There we go. We got TYGO. I mean, we talked about that before. Let me change my volume criteria here. Nothing really sticking out too much. Maybe check back in on QSG, this MEGL we've traded in the past. All right. Yeah, none of these looking good, folks. We're at the bottom of the barrel here. So for all of us on YouTube, make sure that you are subscribed to youtube.com/cybertradingu. If you're not on YouTube now, certainly go there and subscribe, because tomorrow we're raffling off a free 1 month of our live trading room. Again, you could be a student and you could win. So from Michael, Sam, Grant, John, Elizabeth, Roger, all of us here, if you go to our YouTube channel before tomorrow morning and just hit the subscribe button, you as well have a chance to win a 1 month just addition to our live trading room. So we'll tack it onto your membership effectively, right? But otherwise, just for all of us here inside the live trading room, make sure that you click the link to join the Phase 3 stock course class lined up at 3:05 Eastern Time. Fausto's live trading going into the market close. I'll be on a couple of coaching calls all the way through myself until the closing bell, which means I'll be in the chat board up until 4 p.m. You got Rich on the mic here, just beginning at 3 p.m. And then for all of us on social, just, hey, aside from subscribing, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me over a quick email. Josh@cttrading.com is the handle. I always like to post that here at the end of these streams. But otherwise, we'll catch back with everyone tomorrow morning. Again, just doing a new subscriber giveaway. So, just subscribe right to our YouTube channel, and you have a chance to win 1 month with Roger, Grant, Kathleen, Leda, Ravina, myself, and of course, Fausto inside our live trading room. All right, folks, but we'll be chatting away going into the close. We'll talk to everybody coming up. Take care.